Yo, what is going on today, fam? So we are back again today. It's Braxton from beezy_builds. So you can follow me up on IG at beezy_builds. But we're gonna be going and throwing some new wheels on the Civic. So I just had kind of like one of these wheels as well. So I thought the bronze wheels would look really good against the silver, and I still feel that way. But I also feel like a set of black wheels would look pretty good against the silver. So I kind of want to have a set of like fall and like winter wheels, you know, with like high performance all season tires up on them, and then so have a set of summer / track wheels as well. So today we're going to be throwing some new wheels up on the Civic, just seeing how they fit, just seeing like how they look, and also just making sure they don't rub, because that's the big thing. I don't want to have to roll my fenders. So fingers crossed that this fitment is cool and it's no problem, but we'll see what's up. But I'm not gonna blue ball y'all to death, so I'm actually gonna get straight into it. Oh, another thing we're gonna be doing is just a quick channel update, letting y'all know what's next. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get these wheels installed. Oh. So the wheels that we have decided to go with is the Cozy K1. So I wanted to go with this wheel just because it's affordable and it's lightweight. A set of these will run you about $630. So with shipping off TireRack.com, these particular ones are 15x7 plus 38 offset. So these are pretty much like basic, like Honda fitment, and pretty much just a standard. But I decided to throw my Falcon RT615Ks on these, and then I use my set of rotor slips for my actual fall winter wheel setup. So these things are super clean. I think they're gonna look sick. So just against the silver paint job that's on this thing, since it's like a satin silver. So the tire size, just a quick reminder, is a 205 50/15. So not super meaty, but you know, still good fitment. Hopefully we don't have any rubbing during aggressive driving. But we'll go ahead for a spirited drive after this to kind of see just how our setup is, all right? So let me go ahead and get these bad boys installed, and we'll keep it pushing. Whoa, stop the video. So we got an issue here. Number one, so you have not hit that like button. Number two, you did not leave a comment. Number three, you did not subscribe yet. So I need you to do all three of those things, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Also, make sure to support the people that support the channel, and Fortunatos is one of those companies. So make sure to check them out. And if you want to buy anything, use discount code BEEZY5, that's BEEZY 5 for 5% off any purchase over there at Fortunato. So I'm gonna let y'all get back to y'all video. Ooh, look at those there. The Cozies look sick. I hope that we're able to capture it on camera, because sometimes the camera be washing out, but oh, they look so good. They look so good. They match the silver paint like to a T. To a T. God, that looks so good. Damn, that looks great. I'm digging it. For those of y'all that forget what my other wheels look like, these are them. So rotor slipstreams right here. Nothing too crazy, honestly, but I like the bronze. I like the way it looks against the paint as well, because it's kind of like that same like satin finish. I went with some Hankook Vintage V2, just like all season performance tires. That way I can use these So pretty much in the winter time to, you know, like to drive on, if I choose to drive it to work, it'll be a bit safer than obviously being on some high performance summer tires only. But got those all dressed up there. So a few things I have for sale that some of y'all may be interested in. So got a motorcycle stand right here. Got C5 Z06 a seat bracket right here. Got some C5 control arms with polyurethane bushings in them already. Got some Integra sedan tail lights. Got some C5 Z06 Johnny O'Connell sway bars right there for sale. Got a harness bar, a lap belt mount right there for C5 Z06. I got some harnesses. They're out of date, but still could be used for non-racing events like track day, stuff like that. I got this little OMP toe strap right there. And last but not least, we got a personal Grinta 350mm steering wheel. So if any of y'all are interested in any of these parts here, please don't hesitate to shoot me a DM up on IG, and I'm willing to cut a deal to anybody that's a supporter of the channel. All right, willing to cut a deal to anybody that's a supporter of the channel. So just let me know what you're interested in. But now to talk about what is next for the channel. So I'll go ahead and then we'll hop in the car and we'll take this thing for a little drive, make sure nothing's rubbing, and then we'll take it from there. All right, so we are in the Civic. We about to go see if we're having any rubbing issues, any major rubbing issues that is, with this new wheel and tire setup with the Koji K1s. So while I do my little bit of a test drive, just to test this setup, we can go ahead and talk about where the channel stands and just get into some updates. So one, I sold my Chevy 3500. Some of y'all may or may not have known. And that I actually did have a Chevy 3500. It was a 2001 Duramax with the LV7 Duramax. For those that know, that Duramax does have some issues, and one of them being that it had some injector issues with that vehicle. And I believe, well, so to get that vehicle fully tuned up and just where I wanted to be, I needed to do the injectors, which were about $2,000. I needed to do, so the head gaskets, a lift pump, and then I would want to go to a remanufactured turbo. So just to make sure that, you know, that just everything is good. So I had thought about all that stuff, and it just didn't seem like it was in the budget now, and nor did I have a need for such like a heavy duty pickup, because like all I'm towing to the track is the Civic. So, you know, I have the Lexus GX 470 as well, and the Lexus GX 470 is actually a great do-it-all vehicle. So not only is it great for when I'm going snowboarding, you know, so with the four-wheel drive, full-time four-wheel drive, but it's comfortable, it's cool. On top of that, you know, it looks dope, and it can tow a decent amount of weight. And for such a small car, just like the Civic, I think the GX 470 can actually handle that without an issue. So I decided to actually just sell my Duramax and keep my GX 470 as my tow rig for right now. Being the fact I'm not towing that far and that long, it's more than enough. It's more than adequate. So I made that decision. Number two, as some of y'all know, I ride motorcycles. Well, I rode motorcycles. I actually sold my bike. I sold my CRF 450X, which I love that bike. That bike was absolutely sick. I got a great deal on that bike as well. But for those of y'all that have followed my riding videos, my last riding video I did was my Sumo Sunday riding video. And my friend that I used to always ride with, named Tony, he had the orange 2-stroke KTM, a street legal supermoto, really cool. But you know, like, he had that bike. He had passed away. He passed away actually 2 days after filming that supermoto video, that that Sumo Sunday video. We shot that very Sunday, and I had edited that same night, put it out, and he died Tuesday morning heading to work riding his bike. And him passing away, actually we're gonna go this way, him passing away, that was just my motivation to stop riding. You know, like, that was the reason behind it, because after seeing just the hurt his family went through, and, you know, thinking about my own family and just how they would feel if something happened to me on the bike, I was like, it's not worth it for me personally. Not knocking anybody that rides, because it's dope, and if you ride safely, that's awesome. The type of riding that I was doing though, doing wheelies, stuff like that, that's what I was into. Like, I wasn't into just, oh, like, let me ride to work just because I love riding. Like, no, I was more so on, hey, we're gonna go downtown and I'm gonna try to do wheelies. And I had already fell off the bike. You know, I had already looped the bike, not just that bike. Actually, I didn't loop that bike, but I had already looped the bike I had before that, which was another supermoto, a few times. And then my very first bike, which was another supermoto as well, you know, as y'all see a trend here, you know, I got a certain type of bike that I like. I had looped that bike. A couple of times, and I also had crashed that bike pretty badly, got some pretty bad scars. That was when I was younger, so I didn't think anything of it. I was fine, I walked away. I did have to get several stitches, but I walked away from it. I was like, oh, you know, it's whatever, you know, I'm young, I'm invincible. I didn't think anything of it. But after Tony had passed away, so rest in peace, Tony, bro, we love you always. But after Tony passed away, that was enough for me to be like, hey, you know, this isn't worth it for me, so let me focus on cars. Like, you know, I love cars. I like bikes, but I love cars. So cars are a big enough hobby for me to take all my time. Like, I'm fine with dedicating my free time that I'm afforded to, you know, like, to playing with cars. Like, that's totally okay with me. So I said, okay, I'm gonna focus on cars. So I made that decision, and I sold the bike. So I used some of those funds to buy some parts for the actual Civic build, and, you know, that's kind of how we ended up here. So right now, the only vehicles that I own is my Lexus GX 470, which, you know, is lifted. You know, it got wheels up on it. It's pretty cool daily. So that's my daily. Yeah, I got the Civic that I'm driving right now, my 94 EG hatch. And then I got my race trailer, which I'll use to tow this to and from the track, and also use it to buy cars, you know, to flip on the side, just to help make a little bit of extra income. So which will be pretty cool actually. So that's pretty much my garage update. So as far as the Civic build, a lot of people have been asking me, when are you starting the K-swap? When are you starting the K-swap? The answer is, I'm getting parts together. I am getting parts together. Being the fact that this is such a nice example of a Civic, I want to do this car justice. I don't want to cheap out. I want to do the build right, so I'm not going back later on spending more money to actually get what I wanted. And that was a mistake I made when building my my Corvette. Actually, I had to go back, make a lot of corrections and stuff like that, because I didn't buy the parts I really wanted the first time around. So I don't want to make that mistake this time. So I'd rather take it slow and just get the parts just as I can. Another thing with this build, I'm really trying to work with more companies to get them you know, like to get into some partnerships with these companies. That way I'm saving, you know, some money, and then like also I'm building those relationships, which are super important, because, you know, this won't be the last car I build, obviously. So it's a, you know, as a content creator on YouTube, it's definitely important to go to establish those relationships. So I'm having to reach out to companies, and I have to wait for them to respond, and I'm having to go through the process of trying to sell myself so they can see the value in me, especially being that my channel doesn't have that many subscribers, you know. And if you look at my views I get on my videos, like, it's not some crazy amount. So I really have to show like why a company would even want to work with me, you know, and why it would be just beneficial for them to do so. So that's what I'm dealing with right now as well. So there's a lot of just behind the scenes stuff going on. Good news is I'm getting a lot of things out of the way, a lot of projects, a lot of like other things that's not being shown on camera. Just my responsibilities that I had to take care of. So a lot of time, a lot of stuff that's been eating up a lot of my time is actually going to be done with, so that way I can focus on the Civic and getting this build started. So first thing with the Civic is I'm going to be doing all the arms and doing a brake upgrade. So I'm doing my suspension and my brake upgrade first. So my idea is to get all of the suspension and brakes dialed in perfectly before I pull the engine. So that way I know I have a running, driving vehicle that has no issues, and my suspension is set up, and I'm not having any weird braking issues, nothing like that. So that way I can go to sort the brakes and suspension fully, and before I go and do a whole engine swap of one. Because when you're doing a build like this, where you're, you know, pretty much touching everything, not only that, you're doing a non-native engine swap that never came in the chassis. It's better to do things, I feel like, in steps, rather than, hey, let me throw this thing on my lift, and now let me do the full suspension, let me do all the brakes, let me do just all these other big changes, and do an engine swap on top of that. And now, so once the engine's done and I'm going for the first start and all that stuff, not only am I trying to get the engine running right, I'm trying to get the car to drive right, I'm trying to get the car to brake right. So instead of taking time, you know, like trying to rush it, and just, hey, whatever, like, let me drop the engine, right? That way people see something's coming, instead of me just dropping the engine out of a perfectly running car right now, mind you. I'm gonna wait until I get everything together. I have all the parts I need. That way when I start the case swap, it won't be like, hey, we just did this, now we're waiting a month for the next step. When I start, I'm gonna have most, if not all of the parts I think I need for the build already acquired. Because I want to do this once, do it right? So just take some time. I've been driving up and down this road. I'm gonna try to push a little bit harder through the corners, just to make sure there's no crazy rubbing going on. But as of right now, though, it feels like really, really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. I really like the way these black wheels complement the paint. And man, even, like even now, like, all the suspension has is these little cheap coilovers up on it, but like the car handles really well. Man, I'm just such a big fan of this chassis, and I really do enjoy driving it, even in its current state, which is, like pretty, like it's pretty solid. Like, it's nothing crazy. It's something that, like, literally, like, anybody can replicate. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the whole driving a slow car, fast thing for sure. But that's where I'm at, y'all. I have all the suspension, well, not all the suspension. I'm waiting on my set of KW coilovers to ship. know, if you look at just my build ethos for this vehicle, and what direction I'm trying to go with it, it gives you a good idea of just what I'm trying to do. And the goal with this is not for it to be the fastest car out there. You know, if that was the case, hey, so let's gut the car, right? Let's go with a K24 instead of a K20. Let's, you know, let's try to fit as big of a tire as we can, a 225 up on it, all that good stuff. But instead of that, I'm trying to go a Porsche GT3 route, right? Not a GT3 RS, a GT3 route, something that's streetable, something that's visceral, but still quick, right? Something that's still like just really fun to drive. And you know, doing this, it takes a lot of planning. Doing this takes a lot of thinking on my part and just a lot of research. So when I do start this build, I think y'all as the viewers will see just the time and the effort and the thought that went into it. And I'm definitely going to be sure to explain why I chose the things that I chose. You know, because I'm really excited about this car. You know, and I'm trying to think about mistakes I made with my last build, which was the Corvette. How I went too hard. I went too track focused with that car, when in reality, I spent more time on the street and I really enjoyed driving up on the street. So this time around, my goal is to make a streetable track car. You know, like it's a street car, like first and foremost, that's comfortable and that has all the amenities, but it's capable to be tracked. And you know, and that's my actual goal with this. Like, that's for sure the goal with this, and I'm excited about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out the video here. I'm gonna get some gas right quick. But I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate you checking out so the new wheels, all that good stuff. Definitely let me know just what you think about the wheels in the comment. Tell me what you think just about with the direction that I'm going with this build. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate y'all taking y'all time to watch this video, because your time is valuable and you could be spending it doing something else right now, but you chose to spend 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes with me. So I do appreciate that. Definitely make sure, if you haven't already, to consider subscribing to my channel. But yeah, take it easy. I'm out.
Coach.